In my collection I have pretty much every gaming system that you can imagine. I have, if you look over there, I got my PS5, Xbox Series X, Series S, Xbox One S, Wii U, PlayStation 3 Slim, PlayStation 3 Flat, Xbox 360, and my original Nintendo from when I was a kid. Actually kept it, all this time. And I kind of want to talk about how I love playing video games, yet I just don't have time. And as you can see, I do love the tech behind video game consoles. I think it's really interesting, and obviously I don't talk about it a lot on this channel. It's just not something I really concentrate on, but it's something I do like a lot. I'm probably going to talk about the newer systems in a separate video. The older I've gotten, the less time I've had to play video games, and I only have a certain amount of time, and I can only dedicate maybe an hour or 2 hours a week, not even anymore really, because I got 3 kids, I got a full-time job, and I try to put up videos as often as I can, so it's eating up a lot of my time. I have to kind of figure out what I'm most passionate about, and I guess one of the things I'm most passionate about is movies. Has always been my top priority, so if I have a couple of hours in a week, I'll try to fit in a movie or two or 3, maybe 4 hours of free time. Then I try to watch a couple of movies a week. It's been my thing since forever, and I just love that. But video games, it sucks. It's kind of like, it sort of breaks my heart, in a way, because I really I love playing video games, and I just don't have the time to do it. And it's sort of like it's the thing that's taken the axe, but it just hasn't stopped me from collecting. Obviously, to about the PlayStation 4 generation around here. That's kind of when this is where the time kind of like started to get cut, Original Nintendo's from when I was a kid. I think I was 7 years old. Got it in 1989, I believe. Still has my stickers from Super Mario Brothers stickers. Still have a bunch of games. They're all packed up again. If you can probably, I got moving boxes all over the place. I don't know if you can see them on frame, but still got the gun. Tried to use the gun, not with a modern television. It doesn't work. I don't know. I'll have to try that again one day. I also had a Super Nintendo. I got rid of it when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, I just kind of cleaned up my room and got rid of it. I actually threw it away, and it's something that's bugged me for my entire life. The fact that I just threw away a perfectly good Super Nintendo when I was I guess at the time it didn't seem so special to me, but it's something that's bugged me to this day. I wish I would have kept it, but unfortunately I did not. But I did keep the original Nintendo, which is great. After that, I had a PlayStation 1 for a while. A buddy of mine lent it to me. It was basically mine for about a year. Same goes for an N64. I had that as well. After the Super Nintendo, that was the last system that I owned for quite a while. That was mine. But again, like I said, somebody lent me this N64 for about a year. PlayStation 1 was lent to me as well for about a year to play. I still love Gran Turismo. I would just play Gran Turismo 2, I think it was the one I would play on PlayStation 1. Loved that game. After that, I got a PlayStation 2 Slim, which was when I came up to the States. I'm from Puerto Rico originally. When I came up from the States to live up here, I packed it in my suitcase and I checked in the suitcase. When I got up here to the States, gone. It was PlayStation 2 Slim was gone. My wife's sister ended up giving me her PlayStation 2 Flat, which was really nice of her, and all of her games. So I did own a PlayStation 2 for a while. Obviously, I don't have one anymore. I kind of have them in order of when they were released, but the PS3 Fat was the first system that I bought since like the Super Nintendo. Actually, my wife bought this for me back a really long time ago. Still works. I'm assuming eventually it'll have to be repasted, you know, because the cell processor gets quite hot, and even though I haven't had any problems with it, but one day maybe I'll open it up and try to repaste it. But for now, it's okay. So I didn't buy an Xbox 360 until they came up with this model because it had the integrated Wi-Fi, and you know, it had the integrated the hard drive was already built into it. The hard drive was built into it. It wasn't like this add-on piece, which I liked, and it was I thought it was the first one that they finally did. They finally perfected the Xbox 360 with this one, in my opinion. Even though it is glossy black and it does get scratched, but it looks pretty good. So PlayStation Slim, I think they pretty much perfected the PlayStation 3 with this design, in my opinion. It was still sort of had that shape of the original PlayStation Fat, which is iconic. I love it, but it is a really big system. The reason why I bought this one was that the PlayStation 3 Fat couldn't bitstream like Blu-ray, like to get true HD or like DTS master audio off a Blu-ray disc. And this one could. I also wanted to play PlayStation 3 games in 2 different rooms. My wife used to watch a lot of TV in our like family room where the PlayStation 3 was. So it was eating into my like potential gaming time. So I decided, let me just buy another PS3, and I bought this guy. And I sort of have a dual reason. I wanted to play more games, and I also wanted to bitstream Blu-ray audio. You know, if you're into like physical media and stuff, you can thank the PlayStation 3 for making Blu-ray as popular as it is today. Even though obviously people are more into streaming than actual physical media. I myself am into streaming, but I do buy physical media. I also rent videos and stuff from like Redbox and stuff. So yeah, PlayStation 3. So here we got the Wii U. When I bought this one, I guess my main reason was I was feeling nostalgic for Nintendo games. Wanted to get back and, you know, play Super Mario Brothers, play a good platformer. So I decided to buy this one. And the cool thing about this one, you got your little gamepad there, so you can play. Not necessarily take up the television, which was basically the precursor to the Switch, which is like a completely portable system now. You know, the rest is history. Obviously, the Wii U was a flop. Historically speaking, it just did not sell well. I guess it was a learning opportunity for Nintendo to actually put out the Switch, which it's a smash success. They rarely go on sale. I mean, it's so successful that you can barely. They barely go on sale. You can't buy them get good deals on them. Xbox One S. I bought the PlayStation 4 first. This was the release console. This is basically I bought it when it came out, and I think it was literally the week that it came out. I bought this PS4. Still works great. To be honest, the graphics when I play a PlayStation 4 game compared to like the newer systems over there, to my eye, I mean, yeah, there's definitely more fidelity and stuff, but the PlayStation 4 can still, in my opinion, keep up with the newer systems pretty well. So I think this is definitely not a system that's obsolete yet. Obviously, it will get there because I don't quite think that they've pushed the newer systems to their max yet. The Series S, they can probably push it to the max already, but the newer systems, they probably haven't eked out every bit of performance that they can. So the Xbox One S I bought because I wanted a 4K Blu-ray player, and obviously I wanted to play the newest Halo games. I've always been a fan of Halo. Similar with the Xbox 360, I thought that they finally perfected the design with that model. So I waited for that model to come out before I bought an Xbox 360. Same with the Xbox One S. I feel like they perfected it. The power supply was integrated into the machine, and it was just a very sleek, modern looking. In fact, if you can put the One S up against the newer Xbox consoles, and it sort of looks, it's a very similar design language, in my opinion. So also a great machine, not terribly powerful, but when you have a developer that can take advantage of the ES RAM that's built into it, it does pretty good actually. They got 1080p 60 out of Gears of War 5, so it's possible to get good performance out of this machine. You just have to have a developer that's willing to put in the time, and that's always been a problem. If you're going to develop a system, it's got to be easy for developers, or they're not going to bother because they don't have it costs so much money to make games these days that they're just not going to bother. That's why the PlayStation 4 was just easier to develop on. So everything was developed on here and ported down, similar to how everything was developed on the 360 back in the day and ported down to the PS3 because it was the biggest seller. Again, PlayStation 4 is great in my opinion. Still to this day, still works great. The One S can still play a lot of the stuff that's offered in the Microsoft Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass. So I think it's still a viable system. It's not quite obsolete yet, but it's getting there. So the Series S, I'm going to make a longer video about these guys, the newer systems, and kind of compare them. I think the Series S is, I mean, first of all, I made a whole video about this system. It's so small, and I just love the size of the thing. It can, and I kind of pitched it as like a really good streaming box alternative to like the NVIDIA Shield or like Apple TV 4K, and I think I stand by that. And in fact, when I want to watch a movie that I can't get in Atmos, I made a whole video about like how this is like the best. In fact, the One S, the Series S, and the Series X can do what I'm saying. It can pretty much take anything and convert it to Atmos. So if you have Dolby Digital Plus, it can like process it and turn it into Atmos on the fly within the system. And it does such a really good job. So anytime that there's a video or something that I'm streaming on like Netflix or like Prime or like any streaming service that doesn't offer it on like doesn't have native Atmos, then I'll always watch it on my Series S because it actually does the conversion and it's really, really good. So again, I'll put a card up there for that video if you're interested. So the Series S, obviously it's a little down on power, but I think it's a good little machine given the size of it, and it's cheap. You can buy these at $200 if you're brand new all the time. You can buy, which is the MSRP is I believe $300. I paid about $250 for it minus like a gift card that I had, so maybe I paid like $225 for it, which I'm very happy with it still. I think it's a really good deal given the price, and it can give you a good gaming experience. The one downside, given that it doesn't have the disk drive, which I wish it did. I wish they made one that was like 25% bigger with the disk drive. That would be perfect. Between the PlayStation 5 and the Series X, it's hard to call a winner. I think PlayStation 5 probably has better games to this day, better like next gen experience, I would say. But the Series X has a really big back catalog. You know, one of the things I like the most about the Series X is the fact that it has the quick resume. You know, also in the Series S, I think it has it as well. The quick resume is incredible. If you're playing a game, you know, even if you shut off the system, you can be in the game again within like 10 seconds or something, and you can pretty much leave off where you left off. I think that's a really good feature in the system. I think it's more than enough. The system has more than enough horsepower to give a really good experience as well. The PlayStation 5 is my newest system. I finished The Last of Us Part 2 on it. I've been playing like Gran Turismo 2. Like I have a racing wheel, and it's pretty cool. Again, when since I don't have a lot of experience, I don't have a lot of time to play, but when I do, more recently, I guess I've been gravitating more towards the PlayStation 5. That's where Gran Turismo is, and I just love racing games. Late racing simulators. I've always been a huge fan. I did transition to like first-person shooters, but I do love. My favorite type of game is more like RPG, like Fallout. I love Bethesda games, Elder Scrolls, that kind of game where you can kind of just get lost in your own little journey. I don't particularly like the repetitiveness of like, you know, online shooters. It's just, I feel like I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. People think I'm crazy, and maybe I'm just old and I'm dating myself, but I just find it monotonous. You're getting on a game, you're basically doing the same mission over and over again, just with different people. And it's just all about bragging rights and stuff. Who can kill the guy the fastest? And then you gotta wait. You're in a lobby and you're waiting for the next match. And I just like getting into and getting lost in a story, or getting lost in the world that the developer created for me. I'll make a slightly longer video about the newer generation game systems, but I kind of wanted to, given that I am moving and I had to take all my systems out of where they are typically held, and I'm moving them to the new house. I just kind of wanted to make a video about all the systems here. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything, leave a comment Comments are cool. Happy to answer. Really helps if you can like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.